Hey, it's me, the JFT Network, coming back with another video today. We're talking a lot of things today. We have a lot of things to talk about on this channel, on this show today. We have a special guest star, Devin Clapper. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Let's get into this.
Okay. With the first we're gonna do this debate style. I'm gonna ask the question, he's gonna answer it. Then I'm gonna answer the question I asked, and then I don't know, whatever. He can give me a little bit of why he disagrees or why he agrees. And then that's it. We'll go on to the next question. We have 6 questions, so let's get into it. Question number 1: Nick Foles or Carson Wentz as the starting quarterback for 2018 Week 1?
Week 1 probably Wentz, just because he was the starting quarterback last year. But at the same time, it could be Foles because I think it's going to be a preseason battle before the final team cut.
Okay. Does he get traded? Does the loser of that battle get traded?
I personally don't think so. I could see it happening just because cap room. But I think they try to hang on to as many players from last year as they can, just to try to go 2 for 2.
Okay, that makes sense. You say he'll be the starter because he's the starter last year. Is he better than Foles?
It's tough. Because stats on the 2 seasons that they've each had at the Eagles, Foles has better stats. But in a athletic ability, I think Wentz is better.
Okay. I happen to agree with that. I think Wentz is better overall. The stats are too closely nipped together. It doesn't really, in my opinion, it doesn't affect anything. Wentz had a little bit more team success, seeing as how they won the Super Bowl. Of course, he was not part of that, but he gave he put the cement on the first on the bottom of the house to get it built, and to ultimately put the roof on to win the Super Bowl. If you get that, I hope you do. Whatever. Next, number 2 question: Are the Eagles a super team?
I don't think they're a super team yet. I think next year we'll see if they will be or not, if they go back to back, and how the team works out at the beginning of the season.
Okay. I honestly think they are potentially a super team, just to sort of your statement, because it's not as big as the Kevin Durant signing in the NBA to send the Warriors back to the finals to win it, but it's sort of like that because in that fact, the Eagles had Wentz, they were doing pretty good, and then the Dolphins saw an option to trade Jay Ajayi to the Eagles, and it's sort of like a super team move almost. At least that's the way I saw it. I thought it was a crazy deal. I thought it was great for Ajayi. I thought the way he played after that, sure, he upped his game just to, I don't know, bite back at the Dolphins per se. So we both agree on that. Not a super team yet, but a potential super team.
Yeah, potential super team.
Okay. Is Tom Brady the GOAT, or was he ever? And does that change anything now that he lost his 3rd Super Bowl?
I don't think he was ever the GOAT. I think he has the potential to be, but he's getting old, so I don't know how much longer he will have to get that GOAT status.
Okay.
I don't know if he ever will be, just because of how old he is, like 40. Be 41 in the off season, so 41 starting next season.
Yes. Considering the fact that, I mean, me and your thoughts on him not being good are very, and what I've seen are very rare. Everyone says he's the GOAT, yada yada yada. He's good since he won that 5th one. How do you feel? What makes you feel differently that makes you feel that he's not the GOAT?
His athletic ability isn't the best.
Yeah, okay.
He's getting slower as he gets older. He's not able to maneuver as much.
We saw in that one run on that game, he looked like a snail.
And his catching ability.
Yeah, let's not get into that. That could get potentially heated. Next question. You said that Wentz is going to win the quarterback battle, just because he was a starter, and you said that he's mobilely better. If Nick Foles gets traded, where is he gonna? Who do you want him to go to, and who do you want him with? What do you want the Eagles to get out of it?
we need a cornerback or safeties.
Cornerback,
'Cause
you mean?
Corner. That's what I said.
that's all.
Corner.
Okay, yeah, I thought I heard something different. No,
Uh,
go on.
Because our corners and safeties are good, but seeing what happened in the Super Bowl, we let up lots of points to Gronk. We need a bigger cornerback.
There's no one in the NFL that can stop Gronk.
Jalen Ramsey did a pretty darn good job.
Yes. And then the fourth quarter happened. Oh,
This is true, but there was some.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, is there any names that come out in your idea for a potential trade for a cornerback?
Jalen Ramsey. Or there's some Marshawn Lattimore potentially.
It's true.
Or I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get Richard Sherman.
Potentially. I'm
He'd
not
be expensive, but he'd be worth it
true.
because he's one of the best in the league.
True. I've never thought of those three ideas at all. I've never really thought of a cornerback as a potential trade deal for a quarterback, but that could all be happening. And now that I've thought of it, this Jaguar situation is phenomenally insane. You could trade Jalen Ramsey, get a little bit worse on defense, but get
They get a good
potentially Nick
quarterback.
Foles that in the
So
playoffs
it would
looked
work
like
out
a
really well.
MVP kind of candidate.
Super Bowl of
Super Bowl.
Eagles, Jaguars.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but
That's
it
what I'm
could
hoping.
happen, yeah. How much longer is this Patriots dynasty? This is question number 5. How much longer is this Patriots dynasty going to last?
1-2 years max.
So, what,
Until, of course, the next one eventually. It's
Yeah,
inevitable.
eventually.
It will happen eventually.
so an add-on question here. Tom Brady retires 4 years down the road. Well, that's
Max.
stretching. That's stretching max. What do you think the idea is? Do they clean house come retirement of Tom Brady? Just try to renew the slate.
I think they'd have to completely restart because they based all of their team basically off Brady.
What do you think? Do they change head coach potentially
I think they'd change head coach.
just to get a new, completely
Yep,
new
just completely
era?
new slate, brand new start.
You did a pretty good job, 5 Super Bowls.
Because by the time Brady retires, Gronk's going to be retired too, most likely. So there's the arguably two of the best players in the NFL.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But didn't you see that? Did Gronk? Did I see a rumor around that Gronk is potentially retiring as of this season?
He said he'd have to think about it and talk to his players and coaching staff, but he didn't want to answer that. So.
And one last question as we finish up this show. The whole Tom Brady situation, which he had his play in the Super Bowl, 505 yards, multiple touchdown passes. I don't think any interceptions. Am I right?
No
just
interceptions,
that fumble.
just that fumble.
He's not going down anywhere soon. He could come next year and completely fall. That's potentially could be the end of it. But the potential of it happening is going to happen eventually. Let's be honest. It's going to happen. Is Jimmy G a potential? Is it a mistake for Jimmy G to leave? I mean, not how do I say this? It's a mistake for Jimmy G? Was that trade a mistake?
I don't know if it was a mistake. I think the 49ers definitely got a great quarterback for what they got him for.
Yeah, that is
he, from the way he led their team last season, granted it was winding down and they were playing teams that were looking towards playoffs, but the 7-0 or 6-0 he is in season is
as a 49
right now.
as a 49er.
Yeah.
So, what is one last question as we wrap this episode up of the JSU Network football show Friday night edition here? What is your opinion on this $137 million 5-year deal? I made a video on it last night. Is that too much? Is that not enough? Is that
I don't think any person is worth $137 million unless they've proven themselves already.
okay?
I could see Brady being worth that,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Like Breeze is
Potential.
worth that.
Yeah. Do you think that's like last year the $125 million deal to Derek Carr? was, in my opinion, a pretty good.
That was a pretty good one.
A pretty good
'Cause
deal.
He
He had a bad year this year, but he's gonna bounce back, I think.
His wide receivers were.
Yes,
Were like,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah. That being said, Jimmy G gets a $12.5 million bigger deal, much larger deal. Is that going to change? Is that going to keep rising, or do you think it's going to hit a plummet stage? Do you think there'll be a day whenever we have a 10-year deal? This sounds crazy. A 10-year deal, $1 billion. Is that in the future?
I don't think that's ever happening. That's.
I mean, this is phenomenal as it is, and that's my opinion. It could happen. I think maybe someday.
I think Garoppolo. He's good. I don't think he's worth 127 million, let alone $1 billion.
Yeah, I'm not saying
10
Jimmy
years is a long
Garoppolo.
time, but
I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo, but I think at the end of the day, it's insane the amount of money professional athletes are getting paid. I don't see it stopping. I don't see the rise not stopping. Yes, that's $1 billion is probably not ever going to happen because of the caps.
Yeah.
But is there going to be a stop where they say, okay, this is enough? This whole 5 years,
yeah,
$200 million.
it's definitely going to stop. Because they have to rely on caps, and if they're going to want a team, they're going to have to.
True.
They're going to have to not go much above that 127 million or whatever the heck he's getting paid.
137, which is phenomenal, which is insane. So
$10 million not going to break the guy.
yeah, really. So with that being said, thank you for coming on the show tonight. It's a privilege to have people on my show, and that is the end of the video. You have seen another video of the JSD Network, and Devin Clapper, thank you for coming on again. Have a nice night, and goodbye. So that is the video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice night. Go Jets.